You guys doing a recap? It's Jason Jenkins. All right, busy day today. Had a really nice day. Did well over 10 grand. I'm going to recap what we did in across global macro here and futures, day trade, and some of the core positioning we've had. I tried to post a little bit more today on the socials. If you guys aren't following me, maybe those are new to us. Is at the Jason Jenkins for Twitter and Jason Jenkins over at StockTwits, but at the Jason Jenkins on Twitter. And I think the big thing was just highlighting these 30-minute cycles. Most of the setups and the trades we take are reserved for paying members and those on our prop program or trading teams. But I did post today, if you want to go back and look, the turn on the NASDAQ. Now we had this big China deal / no deal, first phase, blah, blah, blah. But the cycle had you on the right side of this move before that headline. And then after the headline, there was, even if you were been long, you're supposed to flip, and there was a couple of chances to get short. So we'll just recap it, and then I'll talk to you guys. There's a webinar we're doing tomorrow. Let me get that out of the way, I guess, first. So if you go to, well, here's what we did. So this is our prop team. This is what I'll be discussing tomorrow in the webinar, 3:30 Eastern. I'll show you where to sign up. Here's some of our core positioning. I even hit this on the socials today about long oil. That was yesterday. We came out of that. Yen, I've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. We did really well in the Russell today. Been trying to trade long bonds and ultras off each other. And then here's some of what we did. This will make more sense. I'll do a couple of lessons. There's some good teaching stuff here and a couple of these moves today. So again, even caught gold late in the day. And I think there's a pretty good setup short the Russell going into this evening and into the early London session tomorrow that I talked about with our guys. But to sign up for this webinar, you guys can do this. You don't need a huge account to have what we call comma days. It's $1, $2, $3, $5,000 days. You can do it. It's better than trading these ETFs, what I think a lot of independent traders are doing. So if you go to jenkinscm.com, that's for capital management. Jenkins Risk Management is one company, Jenkins Capital Management. But jenkinscm.com, I would recommend this ebook. That talks a lot about, you'll hear like this pi cycle and what we do around cycles. But the next webinar, just click here and simple sign up. And we can go over some more of this tomorrow for those of you that are serious about trading and futures and forex and just trading global macro. All right. Okay, so so a couple lessons today was actually a really good example of, you come in, maybe I can black this out, just look at it this way. So you come in and the trend was actually down, and a couple things to think about here. So this is how we recap our trading. You guys should do this as a trader every day in your trading journal, your notebook. Thinking about what you did right, what you did wrong, good actions, bad actions, your rules. Did you violate them? What new rules do you need to create? Write it down, get it in front of you. But this Russell here was actually down. So equities in general were down off the highs from yesterday, and I guess that was Tuesday. And coming in though, the cycle was very low. This is a 15-minute chart. Let me flip up to the 30-minute. Start right here. So this 30-minute was low right around London. So if you were up 5, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that was a better place to start thinking about longs off the bottom. All right. And again, that was the same if you looked at the NASDAQ or the Dow. And so when we came in, we were a little bit late on that cycle, but the trend was still down. So sometimes that happens. You just have to be aware of it. So what we ended up doing first was actually shorting right in here. Again, this was what I was just highlighting, low in the cycle. Some of these trades are my core position trades, but it's the same hedges. All right, so we came in, we're a little bit late in the cycle, and then we were aware of that, but we were playing, this was where our risk was to our shorts. And when we went through there, we ended up flipping and getting long, actually, on the NASDAQ. We ended up playing the Russell short, but we took some risk off above here and then re-shorted the turn and then added over here. And this was a nice big move down for us today. Let me show you is it the 5 minute or the 15 minute? Okay, so the 15 minute, you can see here at one point, if I block this out, you guys can see there's a topping tail there. There's a topping tail right here. So we were short into this bar right there. And then it actually came down, and I'll show you on the 1 minute, we just missed covering a little bit and scalping twice, which was, I guess, I don't know if I was not so much hesitant, I was just trying to make a little bit more than, I don't always like the snatch of gains. So, can I get back that far in the 1 minute? Oh, I'm thinking about the NASDAQ. So that, and I'll show you what we did. So we were even short the NASDAQ. I don't think I can get back there. Sometimes it's hard to scale to scroll back on the 1 minute. So that's at 9:40. Oh, there was this, it was on the NASDAQ. I got it in 1 sec. It's a good lesson here. Okay, that's what I was thinking about. So right here, when we came up into pi on the 5 minute and 15 minute, right here at 18, we were going to cover a piece because we sold right here. And it was just like, because kind of one of those ones where you can cover or you wait for one more push to make a little bit more money, and we didn't get it. And then we came back up, and the secondary dip here was the same issue. Oh, sorry, this was up at pi. This is what I'm talking about. Here to 18, didn't cover, and then of course you had another rally all the way back to 32. So there's a decent amount of points. We failed again, and then we said, oh man, we might get another higher low right here. And then it was all up and away the rest of the morning. So we ended up having to flip and go long the NASDAQ. And it was a good thing you did, because when you look at the 15 minute, if you carried a short, if you don't flip and go long here, you're carrying a short for another 15 points all the way into the highs, and that's where most people end up stopping out because there's too much pain, and that's right where you wanted to be thinking about going the other way. And so I put that on the socials that we ended up playing here. I'll go to the 5 minute. We ended up playing a long on this move up, and then we were adding and reducing. So we got long in here for this move up, and there's a 1 minute. We're kind of adding and getting heavier, and then we were taking. And then once this 30 minute on the back side, or I call the right hand side of the chart, we said let's shy away from buying the NASDAQ now and get more short the Russell. And on our way up, we were slowly feeding into the Russell. So sometimes it's a balance where you can play both. You're longer the NASDAQ on the way up, adding to it, and then as the cycle starts to roll over, you come out of the one you're long, and then you can feed into the other contrarian short, which was the Russell. And so that's what we did in here. And this is me selling same spot. We were selling day trade, but we're doing it a little bit more active, like on these bounces, right? So the 30-minute cycle started to turn right in here, and there was a tone shift right here with this bar we talked about. And then a lot of times when you break, you first start to break, you bounce and you retest, and that was a short opportunity into what we call, I teach this wall concept. So I was shorting in here, and then boom. And obviously this was news driven, but covered into that. And then this is the setup I'm talking about into tonight and into tomorrow morning, where you should probably see another ebb and flow to the downside. So good lesson on knowing where you got to stop and go the other way. I mean, pi was in what we call the southern hemisphere here, so that this was all down. This was all down, 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 down. This was all bearish, down, down, down. And then when you go through pi right here, now everything's up for the morning. And then let me show you our 30-minute cycle. Right into here. This is the old resistance. Nice 30-minute cycle. Just nails the high. Boom. We're shorting on the backside of this. And then you get a drop. So that was a good trade. What else did we do? Tens. Bonds didn't move a whole lot today. And made a little bit of money there. I was just playing along kind of against what we were doing in equities. But we kind of teed off this the bands here in the 30-minute. The better trade was actually bought long bonds after the news and after the afternoon sell-off. Oh, sorry, right before it, actually. We were just timing it up with pi. There were several charts today that all held pi. So we bought long bonds here. Boom. 10, 12 ticks off that low. We were short fives earlier in the morning. That was nothing to write home about. And then here was another example of us holding pi. Now, earlier in the morning, we talked about on gold that we came in the morning and the chart was looking more like this. You didn't see all this. All right, but the trend was, this is positive. You know, this isn't an uptrend. So you're thinking this way, but the problem was that the cycle, or sorry, you're thinking this way. All right, and the cycle started to come down. But when we broke the bands right here, I said, you know what, why don't we see if we can, maybe we hold the 200, but I like this pi as a better risk reward. And we already had a lot going on in equities. So it was like, why don't we just give this kind of, keep this in our back pocket. This was in the morning, I said this. Pi would be a great spot to buy. As the morning goes on, boom, we tagged the exact low twice today at pi here. So this is a cyclical phenomenon that I discovered. It's not like anybody has this on their chart, and guarantee you there's nobody on Wall Street using this number for an average unless they learned it from me. Just an amazing thing. Probably the best indicator I've ever seen. And so we held that, and it came down so quick, I missed it the first move down. And I'm not exactly sure how much traded there, but after we bounced, it was like, you know, all right, guys, if we get back there, let's add. So I did buying gold here, and then we had the rally, and I actually caught a little bit more of it. Whoops. I caught a little bit more on this pullback. So it's kind of subtle, but this is how we trade the 1 minute. So you get all this power. I'm already long off the lows, took some profit, and then on this pullback, you get your second chance to buy. We call this the gift zone. You pull back, the first pullback inside of that range is a gift zone, and then you get the secondary move. Then I came out, and then I actually bought pi again here and sold it out right here. So that was pretty much. Oh, and then oil, we did. And oil was just up. I mean, it was almost like yesterday didn't even happen. Straight down yesterday, huge move down, huge move all the way back today. We sold into this resistance. The cycles were all high. It was a pretty good edge to be short. We went through, And I said, guys, let's give it a little room around 27 and a quarter, 27.30. Maybe we run the stops because the high was actually 57.20 was the level. So try to give it a little bit of room. And then she finally broke. So on that break, we covered. But yeah, I mean, that's majority of what we did. So you guys can do this. Details about the program tomorrow, how you can sign up. It's not for everybody. I can't work with everybody because it's a tight group and we're spending time together every single day. So it's a lot of kind of one-on-one in a group setting. So if you guys are serious, so it's kind of first come, first serve. And I would pop in there. Again, go to jenkinscm.com and click for this next webinar. I can answer your questions tomorrow. If you're ready to go and you want to sign up, I'm going to be adding another link. But under coaching, we partner with a firm out of Chicago, get you up to 150,000 in buying power. Again, that's plenty of contracts. You can make good money every single day. But you're mostly just paying for my time. So I don't get any commissions. I don't get any of the profits. You keep 80%. You keep the first 5,000 in profits. And, but you're going to get all my coaching, all my Forex course, my options course, my full proprietary trading model. You get access to our real-time alerts and our Cycle Edge membership. So that's where trading stocks in there. I'm putting out signals on longer-term positioning, all that good stuff. So you get all the courses, and I used to do group coaching sessions, 10 sessions, couple hours, which would last anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. Now this is every day together. We're doing the stuff like I just showed. So it's a huge value. It's a huge chunk of my day and my time, but that's really the best way for you guys to learn the quickest, and that's a skill set you'll have for the rest of your life. And so when you learn to trade futures too, it's great. You can, if commodities are rallying, if precious metals are bullish, if it's euro, if it's the dollar, if it's equities, if it's bonds, you can take advantage of anything, any way the market's going, any way the economy's going. So that's only $5,000, guys. That's a huge value between the courses and my time and helping you, get some capital and all the lessons that go in there. So you can click here if you're ready to go. Again, love to work with you. You sign up right here. Oh, and then I did do some Black Friday stuff, since that's the cool thing to do. If you go to courses, I discounted if you're not in the market for coaching, or you're new, or you don't have that type of money to invest in yourself, you just come to Forex here. This is Intro to Forex Trading. Marked it down by 20%. 5-cycle course, 20% on the model. This is amazing. This should be 3,500. That's what we used to sell it for. It's $1,600. Options course, I teach the whole model and our option strategies. That's a great value. And then this is a comprehensive. I put everything together. I knocked it down by 56%. So guys, I mean, trying to do the best I can into the holiday season and get you guys set up to just absolutely kill it here in the new year. So pitter patter. All right, guys, let's see some of you in the morning.